Rajeshwari MJ. She pursued her BE in Electrical and Electronics at the People's Education Society College of Engineering, Mandya. She pursued her MTech in VLSI Design and Embedded Systems at the Sri Jagadguru Balagangadharanta Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Her personal skills lie in good verbal and written communication skills. Her areas of interest lie in OOPS with C++, renewable energy sources, HVDC transmission, digital relays, automotive electronics, advances in VLSI design. She has also had papers presented at the national level, such as the Innovative Architecture for SoC Multi-Core Hybrid Processor, presented at the RNSIT, Bangalore.
Welcome to UGC lecture series of BSc Physics Honours. Today we are dealing with the subject electromagnetic theory. In this session we are concentrating on plane wave reflection at normal incidence and now we are going to move towards a plane wave reflection in oblique incidence. So, in oblique incidence how the behavior of the plane wave will be. So, the important things that we are going to consider here: plane wave reflection from media interface at normal incidence. In previous session we discussed about the lossy conducting media, lossless medium and also the good conductor cases. Now, we are considering only the perfect conductor as a medium, and then after that we are going to study about the plane wave reflection from media interface and oblique incidence also. So, normal incidence too we are moved here in as a oblique incidence, and in the oblique incidence how the transverse electric wave and the transverse magnetic wave will be formed, and what is the expression for a oblique incidence. In this case we have to study. So, let us start with the plane wave reflection from media interface at normal incidence, which is the case that we study here is a perfect conductor. Now, assume that the region 2, that is a region 2 that is what we consider as a perfect conductor, and a region 1 is a lossless medium. So, region 2 is a perfect conductor and region 1 is a lossless medium is considered. So, the same thing that whatever that previously discussed, the same step has to be followed here also for this case. So, let us rewrite the expression for propagation constant and also the wave impedance for the good conductor and deduce the expression for the perfect conductor. So, good conductor expression we already have, we previously discussed. For the same expression we need to carry it out for the perfect conductor also. So, for this we have the propagation constant, that is a complex propagation constant that we know that is a gamma 2 that is equal to alpha 2 plus j beta 2 is what the propagation constant, and we know the values of this propagation constant that is in terms of the skin depth which is equal to 1 plus j into 1 by delta square s, which is delta square s is what represents the skin depth. And also eta 2, that is the intrinsic wave impedance eta 2 value is equal to, that is whatever that we discussed here is for region 2 for the good conductor. So, this can be applied for the perfect conductor also. Eta 2 is equal to 1 plus j square root of omega mu 2 divided by 2 sigma 2. So, this is expression for the wave impedance that what we carried out for the good conductor. So, for the this 2 will be same and it is carried out for the perfect conductor also. Now, the perfect conductor implies sigma 2 will be tends to infinity, and correspondingly when sigma 2 tends to infinity, alpha 2 value, these are the parameters that we know that the characteristics will lies on these parameters only. So, alpha 2 tends to infinity and the skin depth factor, that is a delta square is equal to that tends to 0, and eta 2 which is a wave impedance that tends to 0. So, now by considering all these parameter now, so tau and the gamma, the transmitted coefficient and the reflected coefficient will now becomes tau is equal to n eta 2 divided by eta 1 plus eta 2, and the gamma value will be eta 2 minus eta 1 divided by eta 2 plus eta 1. So, this is same as what we previously discussed, just we remember these two value here also. And also therefore, as we know for the perfect conductor the parameters values will going to different. So, where this tau and gamma is internally or indirectly dependent on alpha mu. So, this the tau is tends to 0 here and gamma here it tends to -1. So, now we need to find the electric and magnetic field for both region 1 and region 2, and where we know that region 1 is a lossless medium and region 2 is a perfect conductor. So, for region 1 which is having incident and reflected electric fields, it is same as we previously considered, that has to be note down here. And for region 2 which is having only transmitted field of electric and magnetic field. So, according to the parameters that we previously considered, so the transmitted electric and magnetic field is approximately 0. Now, we need to know the power conservation for a perfect conductor. So, in order to see the power conservation, now we want to know the Poynting vectors of two regions. So, we need to know the Poynting vectors of lossless medium and also as a for the perfect conductor. So, first we need to note down in the region 1 which consists of electric field which consists of incident and reflected wave. So, for Poynting vector for region 1, that is z is less than 0 and also gamma is equal to -1. So, for considering these two factors for region 1 Poynting vector will be for Poynting vector we need to first note down the electric field and the magnetic field. So, E total which consists of incident and reflected wave, substituting these two here. So, the values of E total that is electric field in a region 1 becomes x cap E naught into exponential to the power of minus j beta 1 z minus of exponential to the power of j beta 1 z, that is equal to x cap 2 j E naught sin beta 1 z is what we consider, which is having only the complex term we are considered here and eliminating the real part. Now, for similarly for a magnetic field that is which is having incident and reflected wave, substituting these two electric field equations here. So, finally, we got the magnetic field, that is a y cap into 2 is equal into E naught divided by eta 1 cos beta 1 into z. So, therefore, the Poynting vector for z is less than 0 in region 1, which is equal to S is equal to E cross and H cross. So, that the total electric and magnetic field in region 1 value will be substituted and the final value will be minus z cap j into 4 E naught square divided by eta 1 into sin beta 1 z cos beta 1 z. So, which has a 0 real part here. We can observe here which is having a j term, it represents the complex term and we can say there is no real part here, and also this indicates that no real power also lies here which is not delivered in a perfect conductor. And also fields in region 2 is anyway it is 0, we have not considered for region 2, we already know in the fields whatever present in a region 2 it is 0 and hence power is also 0 in a region 2. And now we consider next we are moving entirely for a different thing, that is plane wave reflection from media interface and oblique incidence. So, till now we discussed about the normal incidence and we considered different cases. Now, we are considering a oblique incident. If a wave is incident on an interface in a particular angle, then it is called as oblique interface. And what are the effects of this, or what are the how the electric and magnetic field will be affected when it is obliquely incident on a interface. So, we will consider the problem of a plane wave here also. Plane wave is carried out for consideration. So, plane wave is nothing but an electromagnetic wave that is what we previously know, and also obliquely incident on a plane interface. So, whatever the interface or incident we are making is obliquely incident and the plane interface, and also between two lossy conducting regions. The conducting regions that we are considering now onwards, it is a two lossy conducting regions. And also in the first case that what we considered is two particular cases for studying this problem. which is having a, first one is the electric field is in the xz plane. Electric field is always present in the xz plane, that is parallel polarization, that we are calling it as a parallel polarization, and also electric field is in normal to the xz plane, that is perpendicular polarization. So, these are two cases that we consider. One is electric field is in the xz plane or xz plane, and electric field is parallel to the xz plane. These are the two cases that we have to consider. Next is any arbitrary incident plane where can be expressed in a two form, that is as a linear combination of these two, that is which is having a two principal polarization. So, that we discussed later, that is what are the two principal polarizations, everything. The plane of incidence is that plane containing whatever the plane that we have taken or setting is a plane which is containing the normal vector to the interface. So, some of the normal vector to the interface is what we taken as a plane of incidence. So, and also the direction of propagation vector of the incident wave. So, this plane of incident is consists of a normal vector to the interface, and also it consists of direction of propagation vector of the incident wave. So, whenever we speak of the plane of incident, these two will be there, that is normal vector to the interface and also the direction of propagation vector of the incident wave. So, these are the factors whenever we speak about the plane of incidence, we need to remember this. So, next we move on to the two parallelization properties that we already say, that which is having a two polarization property, that is for perpendicular polarization. For perpendicular polarization which is also called as transverse electric field, where we can say the electric field is perpendicular to the plane of polarization, plane of incidence, and also for parallel polarization where it is also called as transverse magnetic field, where we can say the magnetic field is parallel to the plane of incidence. So, now with the help of oblique incident of plane where electromagnetic wave media interface which can be drawn like this along x and z plane is what we consider, which is always lying in the x and z plane. One is parallel and another is perpendicular to this plane. So, in region 1 that both we consider, whatever the cases that we consider is lossless medium, which is having the region 1 which is having a reflected and the incident wave, and in a region 2 which is having transmitted wave, and in both region that we have the parameters, that is depends depends on the characteristics of electromagnetic wave, which is says the parameters, and this parameters changes the characteristics of electromagnetic wave, that is epsilon, mu and sigma 1 and epsilon 2, mu 2 and sigma 2. And here we can observe the angle that what we is taken for the interface, it is in a theta I is what in what an angle the electric field and magnetic field is incident on the interface, and theta r is at an angle at which the reflected and reflected electric and magnetic field will coming out from the interface, and this theta t is a transmitted angle, that angle of electric and magnetic field that is transmitted in the region 2 from the interface. So, these are the things that we can observe from this. So, next first thing that we need to consider is about the perpendicular electric field, that is a perpendicular polarization, that also called as transverse electric field, where we can say the electric field is perpendicular to the incidence, the incident of a plane, wave plane of incidence. The electric field will be perpendicular to the plane of incidence here. So, in this case we know that electric field vector is perpendicular to the xz plane, hence it will have component along the y axis. So, it is perpendicular to x and z plane. So, components will be in y axis we can say. So, since the electric field is transversal to the plane of incidence, there are also known as transverse electric field. So, transverse electric field is another name for perpendicular polarization. So, from this all this discussion, what we observe, the polarization is nothing but a alteration of a wave in any other direction. If it is moving in one direction, if there is an alteration in the wave, it is called as polarization. So, here the wave propagation vector for incident and reflected and transmitted electromagnetic wave when it is having a oblique incidence is given here. The very first incident for how the incident propagation vector, wave propagation vector will be. So, this is a wave propagation vector for an incident wave which is having a complex propagation constant gamma 1 cos theta 1 is a magnitude of this x axis x and we know that the whatever the components lies in the transverse electric field that will be of y components, and this is a incident in an angle of theta I. Theta I is the incident of a electric field here, and the magnitude of this is gamma. Gamma I is what represent the magnitude of this, and also the reflected, for the reflected wave propagation vector will be where the angle of reflection will be of theta r, which is given by theta r, and gamma r is what represent the magnitude of complex propagation constant. And similarly, for the transmitted wave, theta t is the angle at which it will going to transmit out from the interface in an oblique which is having a theta t of angle, and the gamma t is a constant propagation constant for a transmitted electromagnetic wave. So, let us now assume that the incident wave propagates in the first quadrant. So, we have observed that incident wave it is propagating in a first quadrant of xz plane, that is without loss of generality, or we can say without loss of any energy. So, and now if we consider it is travelling in the first phase, we have to consider this, that is what the gamma 1 I, that is the incident wave, incident propagation constant. This incident propagation vector that makes an angle that is theta I is for a incident field, that is with normal to the plane xz, which will be normal to the plane xz. So, now for this dot product of these two components, that is a z component and also z component, z vector component, and also the gamma propagation constant component of the incident wave field is equal to this, that is gamma 1 cos theta 1 z cap plus gamma 1 sin theta 1 z cap. So, this is expressions for this, and also dot of z z cap plus x cap. So, after simplifying everything, we can say that gamma I dot z like is equal to gamma 1 into z of cos theta I plus x sin theta. Next, EI is a electric field that we can find in a quadrant 1 if we consider the xy plane. So, this will be represented like EI is equal to E naught exponential to the power of minus gamma 1 into z cos theta I plus x sin theta I y cap. So, after this we have to know the cross product of this. So, because we know that this cross product of electric field will be equal to del cross EI divided by minus of j omega mu 1. So, this has to be now taken, and we have to write the components of y, because we know that if x and y plane we consider for electric field, then the components of this will be in a y. So, y will be the component of this. So, this will be having only the y components here in the matrix that we can observe. So, after simplifying this, that what we followed in all the previous cases, we will find the final expression like this, that is equal to E naught divided by eta 1 into exponential to the power of minus gamma 1 into z cos theta I plus x sin theta I minus of x cap cos theta I plus z cap sin theta I is what the expression that we got for this when we have other electric field in a x z plane. Now, let us assume that the reflected wave propagates in the second quadrant of x z plane. So, first quadrant we consider the incident plane will be there in the first quadrant, and if we consider the reflected wave in the x z plane and it is in the second quadrant. So, same thing we have to follow what we discussed for the incident wave, same thing that which is here considering only changes, we are taken r here for a gamma 1, that is a propagation constant, makes an angle will be changed here, that is theta r will be angular for the reflected wave field, and ER is what we give, it is given by that is a reflected electric field will be E naught into gamma TE epsilon exponential to the power of minus gamma 1 into minus Z1 cos theta r plus x sin theta r y cap. So, note in both the cases we need to note down that the propagation constant of reflected and incident will have the same magnitude, and also since both the waves are still in the same region 1, only the direction changes, the magnitude of both this remains same, that is the propagation constant will be same for incident and reflected, only the direction will be changed because both of it will remain in the same region. And also now the Poynting vector must be negative, like what we previously discussed for the normal incident. Magnetic field expression will becomes like that is equal to eta naught by E naught divided by eta 1 into gamma TE exponential to the power of minus gamma 1 into minus Z cos theta r plus x sin theta r into x cap cos theta r plus x cap sin theta r. And also you should know all this, observe all this which is having a complex terms in both electric and magnetic field. So, now we have to use the Maxwell's curl equation that is which is given by HR is equal to del cross ER divided by minus J omega mu 1 is what we want to know. We already know the Maxwell's curl equation. So, the transmitted fields will have similar expression with the incident field except. So, whatever the incident field will be that is different, but the transmitted fields will be the same. That is now theta I should be replaced by theta d. So, theta t and theta I is having a same thing, that is that incident and transmitted fields will be having a same. So, the angle that transmitted propagation vector makes normal, that is what the theta t is represent. So, gamma 1 should be replaced by gamma 2. So, for the region 2. So, what we are trying to say this for the transmitted wave, the whatever that what we till now found out for the incident field, the electric or magnetic field, that will be same, the for electric and magnetic field of transmitted field also same. Only thing we need to change the angle, that is theta I is replaced by theta 2 and also gamma 1 should be replaced by gamma 2 for the region 2, and multiplication by transmission coefficient, that is transmission coefficient is another term that we need to add it for the region 2. So, transmitted field for region 2 is equal to, that is ET which represent the electric field in a transmitted of a transmitted electric field in region 2, y cap E naught tau TE is represent transverse electric field exponential to the power of minus gamma 2 into Z cos theta t, wherever theta t which is going to represent it is a transmitted field x sin theta t. So, same thing what we find out for a magnetic field is again replaced for this region 2 also, only thing the t subscript is we have to change and also theta t, and only one factor is added here that is the transmission coefficient tau. So, now we have to write all the things that whatever we derived for region 1 and as well as region 2. So, this is for lossy medium which is having incident electric field and incident magnetic field, and also reflected electric field, reflected magnetic field which is having a reflection coefficients, and in a region 2 that is lossy medium which is also lossy medium, that is why we can say that whatever there for incident electric field the same thing will be there for region 2 also, only the subscript will be changed because it is having a different direction, and also the subscript will be of same thing, and the coefficient, that is the transmitted coefficient, will be different in region 2 and region 1. So, now equating the tangential components of electric field, that is electric field has only E y components because we consider it lies in incident and reflected wave will rise in xz plane. So, the components will be of y components. So, and it is tangential at the interface, that is z is equal to 0 for the electric field. So, for magnetic field what we consider, magnetic field has two components, that is hx and hz, and only hx is tangential at the interface z is equal to 0. So, when we consider z is equal to 0, so all the expressions that we whatever taken, we have to simplify again with respect to, that is we are substituting z is equal to 0. So, it is going to become like this, that is exponential to the power minus of gamma 1 in x sin theta 1 plus gamma T e exponential to the power minus gamma 1 x sin theta r, that is equal to tau T e exponential to the power of minus gamma 2 x sin theta t. So, these two are equal, that what we have already know, the incident and the transmitted will be equal. So, for now we have taken these two, and also the magnetic field which is having, that is also equals in incident and also transmitted, that also we made it equal here. So, now if Hx and Hy are to be continuous at the interface, that is z is equal to 0 for all x, if we taken as z is equal to 0. Now, see what happens, then x varies, variation must be the same on both sides of the equation. So, variations will be same on both sides if we are taken, that is Hx and Hy are to be continuous and at z is equal to 0, and this variations in the both case if it is same, then it is called as phase matching. So, phase matching condition is what. So, this can be said that gamma 1 sin theta I, that is equal to gamma 1 sin theta r. So, we can observe here gamma 1 is represented here because it lies in for region 1, that is why the gamma 1 will be same, and gamma 2 sin theta t which represent for the region 2. So, this implies theta I is equal to theta r, and also gamma 1 sin theta 1 is equal to gamma 2 sin theta t. So, this is what we can observe from this above expression, which is when it reaches the phase matching condition. So, finally, we come to the end of this session. In this session, we need to glance whatever we discussed from previous session, all where we started with the plane wave reflection from media interface, which is having two sections. One is normal incidence case and another one is oblique incidence. The normal incidence, we studied different cases of lossy conducting medium, perfect conductor, lossless medium and good conductors. So, in all these cases that we have to find the electric and magnetic field in region 1 and region 2, and also we have to find the coefficients, that is transmission and reflection coefficients in region 1 and region 2, that will says that how the plane wave will varies in behaves in different medium. And also when the plane wave have a reflections, that is having a oblique incidence, that is which is going to incident at the interface at particular angle. So, it will be having two characteristics, the transverse, it will going to affect the transverse electric field and also transverse magnetic fields, which will says the electric field will be perpendicular to the incidence plane and also the magnetic field will be perpendicular to the incidence plane. These two we need to find with the help of magnetic with the help of oblique incidence, taking that the incident wave or incident field will be incident on a interface at a particular angle. So, here also we studied about the coefficients of reflection and transmissions by taking electric and magnetic field expressions, which is difference for transverse electric field and also transverse magnetic field. Some of the questions of this session are: show that the power is conserved in plane wave reflection from media interface, that is considering the normal incidence in perfect conductor, and also discuss the plane wave reflection considering the normal oblique incidence at a media interface in two lossy conducting medium. This ends the session. Thank you.